Under caution for a pretty big one at Talladega Superspeedway, just past the Tri-Oval, headed to turn 1 just moments ago, and here is what happened.
You see the 78 of Weatherman moves up the racetrack. It opens up the bottom for Gregson, but I don't think Will Kimmel knew that they were 3 wide. You see him squeezing the 78 of Weatherman. I'm not sure why Weatherman came off the bottom and opened up the bottom and allowed the 55 of Gregson to get there.
Yeah, it just looks like an error there. You know, you got to protect that yellow line here. You got to stay on the bottom. I mean, it's tight racing there, and you know, you're just trying to move up and get a little bit of run down the corner, but when somebody fills that gap, I just don't think they knew they were 3 wide, and it created this.
This is on board with Kimmel.
Hard hits. A bunch of cars hit real hard. Thank goodness for the safer barriers.
And a lot of really good cars. Started in basically the 3rd row. Took out at least 4 contenders. The 55 of Gregson, Weatherman, the 78, Kimmel the 69, Sargent the 77 was collected. And we are going to go red for the major cleanup. Also involved the 08 car of Ricky Sanders took some damage. The 66 of Mark Thompson. So at least those 6 are involved.
Happy to see all the cars stay on the ground too. Seeing the roof flaps really do their job. The shark fins that are on the back of these cars, you know, for a wreck that fast and that wild in one of the worst spots of the racetrack, it is nice to see everything stay planted on the ground.
Yeah, they're running in that pack in excess of 185 miles an hour. There's Mark Thompson, the 66 car. You see Mark get out, making his way to the ambulance. That's good to see.
And there's Noah Gregson hobbling just a little bit.
It's hard to hit easy here at Talladega, running 185 or 90 miles an hour.
Hard to hit easy.
Yeah.
I like that. I don't like that.
So much fun. Bad news for Dave Marcus fans. Oh, no, and Larry Pearson's going to slam the wall as he turns it around. Oh! And Charlie Glotzbach T-bones him. Red flag is immediately displayed at start-finish. A wicked hit right on the driver's side door. And we will wait and hope for the best here, because that is the worst possible spot to get hit in one of these cars.
A wicked crash over here on turn 2. Coming on the back.
And they need the ambulance. You can see these guys waving. All right, folks. All the fun is just the balloon has burst a little bit for all of us. Think positive thoughts. Don't want any injuries in this deal.
What was lap 31? We will revert back to the previous lap. That was lap 31. We would have 4 laps to go. So we have a red flag situation right now.
So Larry, the 56-year-old from Spartanburg, South Carolina, will get an update from medical officials as soon as possible. For right now, we'll just step aside and, as I said, think good thoughts.
Jeff Green got sideways there underneath the 27 car. Casey Atwood almost lost control.
And a big...
Oh, trouble, trouble. Oh, and one car upside down.
Casey Atwood. And sliding through the grass, Kenson flies around.
White and yellow flag.
Atwood's car is destroyed. And did the leader get the caution flag? If he did, they will slow to the checkered flag. If not, they have to come around. Mike McLaughlin's car, left, right, torn up. Watch that number 27 car on the left side of your screen.
Andy Hillenberg gets in the back of him, and he gets him to the outside wall. You can see the 18 car there. The hood's all torn up on it where he got in the back of Casey Atwood.
It was right up and almost over Mike McLaughlin.
Comes back down on the back end and then back to the front end.
There goes the radiator and the springs.
Now the good part is that probably looks really bad to the racing fan, but it's sliding on the roof. That's where all the roll cage is. It does not start turning over until it scrubs off a tremendous amount of speed. Now watch him when he hits the grass here. It'll turn over several times there, but the speed is down where it's not like a 190 miles an hour crash.
Casey Atwood's Daytona dream ended 1 lap too soon.
Watch right here when they make contact. He's in a straight line, makes contact there without Andy Hillenberg, who was right behind him, run right in the back of him.
And you see McLaughlin lose control there after he bounced off of Hillenberg as Atwood flew up and over him. Here's a look from behind.
Didn't take much, but right into the back and turned him right into the wall.
You know, it almost looked like Mike McLaughlin might have been pushing Andy Hillenberg, and he had no way to back off.
They were coming down to get the white flag, and certainly were going for it.
Watch this.
You're riding with Mike McLaughlin. No.
No. Definitely Andy Hillenberg got in the back of him. That's all.
Well, we've heard that too much today.
Wow.
You saw the officials with the caution flag out very quickly as leader Randy LaJoie came to the flag. But as we mentioned, LaJoie not sure if he had passed under the caution or not. Came around at speed.
See him coming in a straight line there. They make contact. You'll see 27 just turn right from the contact from behind.
When that car gets sideways to the wind, a little bit of uncontrollable lift there.
And amazingly, Hillenberg comes on around to finish in 4th place.
You see the damage to the right front corner, but like you say, Ned, he did make it around.
And the best thing that happened to Casey Atwood inside that car is that each one of those impacts took off a little more speed, a little more momentum.
Exactly.
As it went over and around.
If that had happened right there while he was still running 180 miles an hour, it would have been much worse.
Wild ride.
Let's see from the blimp and see the relationship. That white car McLaughlin you see is a couple of feet back of Hillenberg. They just touch.
Boy, what a shot. That tells the story.
McLaughlin, 34, almost gets through there. A wild ride for 18-year-old Casey Atwood, a brush with the wall for 18-year-old Adam Petty, and the fellow they both call the old man proves once again at Daytona that old age and experience is a match for youth and enthusiasm.
Jeffrey Earnhardt down on the apron past the start-finish line. A lot of smoke, and we were told it smelled like rear end grease. Caution.
Oh, trouble. There's oil everywhere. I think there's oil from the 33. Man, it took out some good cars.
Brad Keselowski's car is destroyed.
Chase Elliott.
And Chase Elliott. Now, up high is Earnhardt. There's Kyle Busch, your leader. There had been some smoke from Earnhardt's car, but then it got big.
Okay, so that's off of turn 4. He comes all the way down the front straightaway. Now the wreck's already happened. Oh no, something happened to Chase Elliott.
He may have blown up. There was huge fire underneath the hood of that car.
I think the oil may have come from the 24, or certainly we know that there was fire and fluid underneath the 24.
Wow, I'm not sure what happened. Look at all the fire. Look under here.
Oh, man.
That thing grenaded.
Well,
unbelievable.
Brad Keselowski will tell you nowhere to go.
Yeah, he switched lanes, and I had somebody underneath me. Darn, he came right up in front of us, man. Sorry, guys. Something broke. I'm going to go find out. Switched lanes, I was stuck in oil and couldn't do nothing.
Oh, yeah, he just lost control of the car. Couldn't avoid him.
Slid through the oil right into the back of Chase Elliott.
He's a really good road course, a really good super speedway crew chief, knows what he's got. 3 wide, we're wrecking.
Oh, around goes the 24 of Chase Elliott. He had help. Trevor Bayne got caught up with him. The caution comes out. Damage to the left side of the 24 of Chase Elliott. Damage to the 6 of Trevor Bayne.
It's not bad. Left rear, guys.
A lot of damage to Trevor Bayne.
I think we're done here, but we'll bring it down to us here.
Matt Busha, the crew chief, you can hear the disappointment. They had this race circled. This was a big race. They saw their teammate Ricky Stenhouse win at Talladega. Trevor Bayne, a Daytona 500 champion. Roush Fenway engines. This was the race that they had circled. You can hear the disappointment.
Once again, I think a situation where got 3 wide, and I'm not real sure Michael McDowell knew he was 3 wide. Car jumped up on the outside of him. He went to the right. That pushed him back to the left, ended up getting into Chase Elliott.
And that's the shot. That shows how much these drivers move around on the backstretch. You see left to right, keep changing lanes. And like you mentioned, Michael McDowell in that row was 3 wide. I'm not sure Chase Elliott didn't think he wasn't clear of that row. I'm not sure he thought Michael McDowell was even a concern. Between the two, they made contact. And you see right here, you know, it's moving, and there's nothing he can do. It's spin to the right or spin to the left. Fortunately for the 24, he spun to the left. There's still damage, but much less damage than if it had gone up into the outside wall. Parker.
Guys, think about where Trevor Bayne was, not in terms of only having a fast race car, but strategically. He just pitted and taken fuel and was already just outside the top 5. So they had a ton of options that they could have pulled in that 6 car as they came down the end of this race, and sadly, their night's over, Dave.
As the 24 of Chase Elliott leaves, he was very frustrated with the drivers around him. That is what, in his opinion, caused things that went on right there. But the one thing was they worked a lot of the rear end of the car, but he mentioned to the crew that he thought the front end was killed. You can see the cowl flaps are gone out of there. That'll have to be put back in if he's to continue.
Actually, those cowl flaps where they're missing, they have the option to try to repair them and add a flap back in, but it has to be operational. The best thing for this 24 to do right now is just leave the hole open. It has to be open by the rules, Kelly, but they're doing the best they can to repair it.
Kasey Kahne has had a fast race car all night long, and now he comes into pit road. He said he felt contact on the left side, so they were going to give him left side tires, but they also wanted to check that right side. You saw him checking for clears there. The team was worried he may have had a little contact with the wall. Kasey did not report any. Obviously a pretty fast stop there for the 5, and he's got 2 new left side tires.
And the right side's completely clean for Kasey Kahne. Daniel Suarez still out in front of the field. Matt Kenseth, Stage 2 winner, running second. Jimmy Johnson, 7-time champion, is third as we go NASCAR nonstop.
Here he comes.
We're side by side for second. 2-car length lead for Dale Earnhardt Jr. as they work their way through 1 and 2, and down the backstretch they go. Jr. blocking the lower line. Does that give the advantage to the 48? Jr. jumps up in front of Jimmy Johnson. To the bottom of the racetrack, Dale Earnhardt Jr. trying to stay in front of the pack. They work their way through 3 and 4. Into the triumph they come. Dale Earnhardt Jr. to the bottom of the track. Jr. will win at Daytona. And the big one happens behind them. The 3 of Austin Dillon into the catch fence. All the crews getting out to that car to assist these drivers. Thumbs going up from all the crew members, and the crowd roars. Look at the catch fence on the front straight.
crew members pulling. Austin Dillon out. He's walking. The damage to the 4 of Kevin Harvick. What an incredible sight to see Austin Dillon walking away from that 3 car that is demolished.
Unbelievable impact, Austin Dillon. When we watch this replay, when he gets in the catch bench, the car comes to a complete stop. I've never seen a car stop that quickly before.
And again, they're going upwards of 190 miles an hour through the tri-oval. You see where that car got up into the air and into the catch fence. And as you mentioned, it came to a stop right there.
You see the fence is pulled away, but the cabling, the horizontal cabling is still intact to try to keep the car, any large pieces of the car, on the racing surface and out of the stands or the walkway area there.
There is the engine.
Incredible impact. Unbelievable.
And what an incredible sight to see the thumbs going up from the crew members that were checking on Austin, and then Austin Dillon to walk away from that accident. Safety crews continue to check on all of the drivers that were involved in this incident. Let's take another look. Dale Earnhardt Jr. crossing the start-finish line, winning the race, but then the accident takes place behind him.
Yeah, the 11 gets kind of stuck in the middle there. And
Oh my God, wait till I show that slow-mo replay.
As he does, he spins back in, gets the 3 airborne, and he just gets projected off the other cars right up into the fence.
He went from the bottom of the racetrack over 2 rows of cars and into that catch fence.
Here we go. You can see him on the bottom. Rex starts in front. He runs in the back of the 24. Gets up on the 11. Now he's on top of the 50.5. And now it's just a long bit of run. Watch the car stop. Watch the car stop. It gets into those poles, and it goes from, I don't know what, 180, 190 miles an hour, I'm just guessing, to a complete stop. That is unbelievable.
And it looks like a tour. That's 3,500 pounds. That stock car is extremely heavy. You see here, after he's upside down, the 2 is spinning. Obviously, he's already lost control, makes more contact with the 3.
11 and the 4 to get together. Here we are at the start-finish line.
It just pushes the 3 up into the air enough that it rolls over the top of a car. And then that momentum just continues to move him into the catch fence. Let's ride along with Kevin Harvick.
Top's covered. Middle's open. Come on. Oh, we got a terrible wreck behind you. Just hold it straight, buddy. Hold it straight.
And you heard Kevin Harvick. As much as he wants to get to the start-finish line, as he sees the 11 start to spin, he's out of the gas. It's just line after line of car pushing everyone through there.
Take another look at this real time. According to track safety, they are attending to 3 fans in the grandstands. Some debris did get through that fence. One of the most amazing things I've seen tonight, and we've seen a lot of incredible things, but one of the most amazing things is when that crew pulled Austin Dillon out of the 3, and Austin Dillon is able to walk out of that accident, out of that crash, and then acknowledge the fans by waving to them.
I hope everybody's okay. That's a scary accident, but I just know I
A lot of cars involved as they had crossed the start-finish line.
You saw those crew members running out to the car, you know, to go check on him. I know NASCAR doesn't like that, but you have to appreciate the compassion those teams showed, trying to get out there to try to help him and get there as quickly as they could.
Well, that sign there, when those crew members put the thumbs up, and they knew, they were all looking around going, okay, I know we're not supposed to be out here, but that looks so incredible. Hang on. This will be a wild ride. That was Tony Stewart going underneath the 3. And here was the response from Austin Dillon after he got out, pulled the helmet off. The crowd was roaring at this point in time.
Yeah, this has to be the best sight of the night. You know, this is the scary part of auto racing. So when you see a big accident, you see Austin Dillon get out. He's removing, what he's removing there is his head and neck restraint. It connects to his helmet to keep his helmet from overextending somewhere. A Hans device, that's another version of it. Another safety innovation really that's been required in NASCAR for a few years now.
Hard into the wall. Bottom of the racetrack to the top.
You got the yellow.
And Bobby Labonte has the window now down. He's trying to get out of that car.
So hard getting out with all that equipment on.
See Kyle Petty stopping to see if Bobby needs assistance.
And he does. He's out of there.
We've been seeing a lot of fire lately, haven't we?
That car just spun like a top. It's like there was oil or water or something up in turn 3. Couldn't believe how quickly that car went around.
There is one other car involved in the crash, Mike Wallace, whose car has come to rest maybe 50, 60 feet farther down the racetrack from where you're looking at Labonte's smoking machine.
Oops. Not quite out yet, fellas.
Well, it just came off pit road with a full tank of fuel. There's Mike Wallace out of his car. Good to see. So caution is out with 52 laps to go in the race. And let's see if we can go back and figure out what happened that caused this big mess in turn 3.
There you see the 18 car.
There's Mike Wallace. They're side by side.
I didn't see him there.
Okay, Benson drives into the 41. They look like they saved it.
Johnny's tires bent out.
The racetrack, and he clips the 18 car.
Okay, that's why he spun so abruptly.
Yeah.
When Johnny made contact with the 41, it looked like it bent the suspension because you could see the tire in the 10 car just turn. Look at that hit. Oh, my goodness.
Seven cars got a bunch of damage also.
Looks like Steve Park in the 30 and maybe Bill Elliott. I saw Elliott spin. Maybe Steve Park as well.
On board with Jimmy Spencer now for our next look.
Everybody checks up. Jimmy gets down, run all the way to the bottom of the racetrack.
That was Steve Park who went around in the 30 car.
I saw some damage on that 7 car.
Jeremy Mayfield.
Way to do it. Drive at it. It'll be gone by the time you get there. Most of the time. Yeah.
But tell us your emotions as you pounded the ground.
I was just frustrated, you know. I mean, it was a battle back there, and, you know, we came back to 13th there, racing under green, you know. So just aggravating that it had to happen. And you hate to see, you know, all the safety stuff in the car worked great. Man, I feel fine. Smell like a barbecue pit, but other than that, I feel
getting crowded up there in the front right now with the 42. Oh,
Whoa!
trouble.
Big crash. Danica Patrick and Joey Logano and Eric Almirola.
Holy smoly. Heavy damage there on Danica. Those cars are killed.
And Almirola piling in at the last second and going up in the air. Patrick
Danica's
quickly out of her car.
Well, she's out in a hurry.
Woo. No kidding. The thing was on fire.
and looking rather upset. Joey Logano's car is not going to make it back to the garage. Neither is Eric Almirola. The window net down on both of those cars. Signal to the safety crews the driver is okay. Now Patrick and Logano were 11th and 12th. Almirola was back in 23rd. Cars stopped at the entrance of turn 1.
Let's see what happened here, guys.
Oh man, it looked like the 22 just got loose.
I think that.
Oh man,
what a
ride that Danica went on.
Danica took a heck of a ride into the wall, and then the 43 just plowed in there.
Yeah, he had nowhere to go. I think he committed to the outside lane. Pretty big impact by the 43. As you could see, Almirola sitting in his car. He hadn't quite gotten out of the car yet.
Eric Jones right behind them, right behind Logano.
Oh, something
broke. Something happened on that 22.
Something had to break.
Keep coming here. There you go.
22 violently turned left right into Danica.
Oh,
right front. Yeah, I saw it blow the fender up.
I think that was a brake rotor.
Are you thinking what?
Yeah, and that's why it turned left. I think that disintegrated the right front brake rotor. Right as he went to the brakes, you saw it come through the hood, and what that do? It just turned the car to the left because all it had was left front brake.
It turned it dead left. I know that.
Patrick went for a wild ride.
Of your car leading up to that point?
Just, out of nowhere. Just, oh my God. Just out of nowhere. Everything was fine, and then it just took a hard one. Ooh. Yeah, I wouldn't pray for Eric right now.
Have you had a chance to talk to Danica at all?
Yeah, we rode back in the car, in the ambulance together, and we just, I can just tell her something broke. I hate that I'm the part of it that started it. There's nothing I could have done. I don't know what happened, but like I said, something broke and just tore up a lot of really good cars.